This is a table full of computer parts. Specifically parts for a Dell Dimension 2400, actually 2 of them. I got this from Facebook Marketplace and a lot of other things, and basically these 2 computers just came disassembled. Like all of the parts were just loosely thrown in the cases, so like the power supplies and all the plastic pieces were just like shoved in here. Both motherboards were just stacked in here, all bare and stuff, along with like a few other things just thrown around in there. So I have no idea if these work. The motherboards actually look fine, but I guess we're going to see in the video if they actually work and at least try to make one working computer out of all the parts we have here. It does seem like luckily the person who took this apart kept every single screw and washer, which is honestly pretty convenient. As for the motherboards, both are in really good condition and both are actually really clean surprisingly. Like there's not really a lot of dust on them, and they both have the original RAM and Pentium 4 CPUs. Okay, I went ahead and sorted everything off of camera, and I believe this is all the stuff needed to build at least one computer. And I do have, I think, all of the other stuff as well. I just piled them down below in the other computer case. But before I build this, I'm going to have to clean out the case because I don't want to clean it out when it's put all together because it's harder that way. Next, all I gotta do is install this thing. Wow, look at that, it was like magic. I do hope at least one of these power supplies works though, because it has Dell's stupid proprietary thing, which only works with Dell's things. I mean, I guess you can buy an adapter for it, but that's like a whole thing, and if either of these don't work, then I can't test these computers because I don't have another Dell power supply. Okay, so I was about to like record, installing the CPU cooler and stuff, and I was confused because there's no like clip on the back to hold the CPU cooler in, but apparently it just screws directly to the case into these standoffs. Now the CPU cooler. Turns out I have absolutely zero thermal paste, so no thermal paste, which means you can't complain about the amount of thermal paste I use because I didn't even use any. Okay, this is part of the cooler, but I don't really know how exactly it's supposed to go on there, so I believe it goes on like that, and it just directs air to this somehow. I don't really know how though. Yeah, I did figure out how this goes on, so I believe it just slides on like that. Just kind of uses some plastic clips. Oh. You know what? I'm just gonna do some magic. Wow, look at that, it's in there. Wow, crazy. Time to do some expert cable management called just throwing it wherever I can and calling it a day. That's pretty much how Dell did it when they built this thing, so I'm just doing it the same, to their perfection. Does that not plug in there? No, it does. Just get in there, there you go. Alright, and then this I've got to route to because I can't go under the, can't go over the CPU cooler, so this just, come on, cooperate. Okay, fine. Be that way. There you go. It's just gonna... Nope, stay down. Nope, stay down. Good enough. Okay, new development. I did figure out that this goes right here. There's like little tab things that hold it in place. And I'm still not really sure how these work exactly. I think they hold it down here somewhere, or their handles. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to look at a picture of this thing to see where exactly these go. Okay, can't really find a good picture of it, but you can kind of see that there's a tab sticking out right there, and that's this piece. So I believe it goes in here somehow. It goes right here somehow, and I'm actually noticing an opening there, and this, I think it might fit in there like that, or maybe, yeah, I think like that. Okay, well I got it on there, but I'm still really not entirely sure what they do. They don't seem to have any direct relation to this thing. They don't clip it or hold it into place at all. So just random green plastic pieces, I guess. Okay, and currently it's not actually looking too bad. Now I'm going to install the disk drives because I use these cables, which get in the way and they're very inconvenient because they're big. So might as well do that before I wire in everything else because then it'll just be inconvenient. I guess it doesn't really matter which order these disk drives go in because I'm probably not going to use them, so it doesn't really matter that much. There you go. Perfect. I'm really glad that as a society we advanced to SATA because these things, like, they don't look very good. And they're big and bulky and, oh, weird looking. Big and bulky and, yep. I adjusted the position I had it wrapped around because it might have looked better, but I don't know. There's not really a way to, I guess, make these look good, so they're just there. Now to plug in every other proprietary cable thingamajigger like this is like the front panel connector, but it has like a weird thing there, so you can't use any other motherboard in here unless you cut that off. This thing, I don't even know what this is. I think it goes to the USB ports down in the front, but it's going to get plugged in, assuming it cooperates, and goes into the thing. I said, there we go. Yeah, that's right. Second time's a charm. Here's another front panel connector. As you can see, it has the same little thingamajigger on it to stop you from, well, putting another motherboard in this because, again, Dell moment. Almost forgot about this thing. This one might have been easier to plug in without these cables here first, but I still managed. Also forgot to plug these in, so I had to move the cables out of the way. Forgot about the modem. Let's just get that in there, and then there we go. Now we got a factory Dell Dimension. Look at that. Came together pretty nicely, if I say so. Still got to figure out, kind of, maybe try to hide these wires a little bit. I mean, I don't necessarily have to. There's going to be a cover, covering. But maybe I can, kind of maneuver them down there a little bit, make them a little less ugly. Now to give the actual case a nice cleaning, and then it'll be good to go. Clean the front off, and now it looks almost good as new, but the back... This should theoretically just fit on here, just like that. Now to just close it up and hope that nothing is broken. Wow, look at that shine. It's perfect. Okay, hopefully nothing blows up. Preferably, yeah, I would prefer that nothing to happen, Alright. It's making computer noises, which is good, I think. Oh, it's going crazy. It's still turning on though, but it's going crazy. It's still going crazy. Stop going crazy. What even is that? Can it even defend? Is that an error code? What is that? And we got A, B, C, and D. That's not helpful at all. Actually, it might be. I don't really know. Nothing's happening, so I think something's broken. I turned it off and turned it back on again. It's doing better things now. Clicking doesn't really do anything. Oh, now there we go. That was weird. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the setup utility. I don't have an SSD or a hard drive to put in this thing, so can't really test that. F2. Yes, no, maybe. F2. F1. F4. Any button. Anything. Let's try a different port. Maybe that's a little broken or something. Oh my god, get in there. There we go. F2. F2. Okay. No BIOS, I guess. I'm starting to think that something might be wrong with it. Or maybe it just does that? I don't really know. Let's see. Okay, I can go into the BIOS now. I'm in the BIOS, but none of the keys are working or doing anything, so that's as far as we're getting, but yeah, it works, it's on. I don't have an SSD to actually test it, but it seems to work perfectly fine, and the beeping, I believe, was caused by that not being plugged in, judging by the fact that it stopped after I plugged it in. And there's probably most definitely nothing wrong with that one, too. But I will do some magic, and then you'll see if it works, too. Moment of truth number 2. This one is assembled, though it's in a little bit more, shambles. This piece doesn't go on for some reason. The floppy drive is just missing the mount. None of these actually fit, so the disk drive isn't plugged in. But otherwise, everything else is, there. Okay, so let's try not to blow up number 2. Okay. It's turning on. This time, maybe no beeps. Monitor's not on yet. Okay. Oh, maybe I should plug the monitor in. Yep, also works fine. And there it is, 2 fully working Dell Dimension 2400s. One of them a little slightly less working, but still working.